Hi, welcome back to The Myth of Hockey, episode number 4. A new pimple, same shirt as last episode, but who cares? Anyway, this episode is all about, hopefully that wasn't too loud. I get excited when I'm passionate, especially about this goalie, Martin Brodeur. They say maybe the best goalie of all time because he has all these crazy stats, great stats, quote, shutouts, wins, all of that nonsense. So the only reason that people think he's great is because of stats. Well, let me give you the other side of his stats. This is amazing. The only time that Brodeur was replaced was in 08-09 when he got hurt. And here's what happened. He played 30 games that year before he got hurt. He had a .916, a .242 goals against average. But here's what happened. He got hurt, and Scott Clemmensen, basically a journeyman, a guy that had never really been given a chance, bounced around from team to team to team. Many people would say, well, he's just a career backup and he doesn't have the skill to be a starter. Another myth. And here's what happened when Scott Clemmensen replaced the great Martin Brodeur. He went .917. Remember, Brodeur was .916. He went .239. Reminder, Brodeur was .242. And he played 39 games. And he was on pace that year. He won 25 games. If he had played the full season, he would have set an NHL record for wins in a season, replacing the great Martin Brodeur. Brodeur won the Vezina the year before. How is it that Scott Clemmensen stepped in for the great Martin Brodeur and had better stats, a same winning percentage as Brodeur? How's that possible? Again, if Martin Brodeur was so critical to his team, hey, I'll tell you what, when Brodeur went down with injury, I wonder if they had a closed-door meeting with the owner, the GM, the coach, the goalie coach, all of them, team captain. We've lost Martin. He's going to be out 50 games. What should we do? What's going to happen? They all probably were going to think, oh, we're going to tank. We don't have the best goalie in the world. How is it that Clemmensen did so well? How is it that Kevin Weeks also played, I think, 10 games, and he did the same, .920 save percentage and a .242. Now, here's what's even more interesting. A lot of people say that Brodeur is like a third defenseman back there. So, if he is critical in moving the puck, shouldn't the shots on goal be a lot higher for Clemmensen than Brodeur? So Brodeur, in his 30 games that year, averaged 28.9 shots against per game. And Scott Clemmensen, in his 39 games, averaged 28.8 less. So your whole theory about Martin Brodeur, seeing less shots and being like a third defenseman out there in this particular season meant nothing. Now, here's what's even more amazing about the great Martin Brodeur. In 02-03, he won the Vezina Trophy. And I looked at those stats really closely in 02-03. And he saw in his 25, I wanted to see what Brodeur did in his best 25 games that year. He averaged 25 shots against in those 25 games and had a .972 save percentage. Granted, that sounds amazing. But with my research, I decided I was going to look up the worst goalie in the NHL that year with comparable minutes played, and that was Marc Denis. Marc Denis, what did he do? He had the worst win percentage that year, again, matching many minutes played. So I was expecting to see, in his best 25 games, not much. But here's what I found. Again, I'm just the messenger. Marc Denis, in his 25 best games, had a .964 save percentage. But he saw 31.6 shots per game. Reminder, Brodeur saw 25 in his best. So Denis saw a lot more shots. What's that, 6.6 shots more. But his save percentage was almost as good as the great Martin Brodeur. So doesn't that tell us? Yes, it does tell us. It tells us that Marc Denis possessed the skill to win NHL games, maybe more so than Brodeur, because he faced more shots. Now, I looked at their 25 worst starts that year. More intriguing stuff. Brodeur, in his 25 worst games, now I'm going to stop myself. Squirrel. Most people think that the best goalies in the world are consistent. I hear that all the time. When I'm critical of goalies, because obviously I am, when I'm critical of goalies, people always say, well, Gary, the best goalies in the world are consistent. Are they? Martin Brodeur, in his 25 worst games, save percentage. And he only faced 20.2 shots a game. 20 shots a game, just over. And he had an .825 save percentage. Wow, terrible. That shows us he was very inconsistent that year. Marc Denis, in his 25 worst games, he was bad too. He had an .825 save percentage. Granted, that's terrible. However, Brodeur saw 20.2 in his worst games. Marc Denis, the poor guy, he saw 8 more shots a game in his 25 worst games. 28.2 per game. Switch goalies that season. What do you think happens? After hearing these damning stats, what do you think happens? Marc Denis was far busier. And do yourselves a favor. I can't give you everything. Do your own research. Who were the defensemen for the Columbus Blue Jackets standing in front of Marc Denis that year versus Stevens, Scott, Niedermeyer, Scott, Danico, Ken? Come on. Are you telling me that if you switch the goalies that year with all the shots more that Denis faced, that you don't think it's going to change? And again, with Marc Denis' best 25 games, he put up a .964 save percentage. That proves he had the skill. He just didn't have the consistency of the strong defenseman or the team in front of him. And by the way, Marc Denis that year had a better penalty kill save percentage. I'm almost angry right now at the hockey world for not sitting down when they vote for the Vezina and go, holy smokes, yeah, Marc Denis won half the games Brodeur did, but he was twice as busy. Imagine, isn't your goalie supposed to be your best penalty killer? How is it Martin Brodeur, with that stud defense in front of him, had a worse, and I mean it's a lot worse, save percentage on the PK than Marc Denis? How did Marc Denis have a better PK save percentage than Brodeur? People, it's time to open our eyes to the myth of hockey. Bye for now.